As you embark on this report, remember every word you write is a step toward your goal. Embrace the journey, savor the process, and let the pages unfold the story of your dedication and expertise. Good day, everyone. My name is Rechelll Cinas, and today I will discuss the legal aspects in tourism and hospitality, Chapter 1. So, the objectives are identify the different kinds of laws relevant to the tourism, travel, and hospitality industry. Then, explain the concept of tourism law. Then, enumerate the important sources of tourism law. Give examples of application of tourism law. So, the definition of law in its broad sense, derecho, is the science of moral laws guiding human activity for individual and social well-being. In its specific sense, ley, it is just an obligatory rule issued by legitimate authority, universally observed for common benefit. So, we have the kinds of laws. For our purposes, the different kinds of law are classified as follows. As a purpose, we have substantive law, a law which creates, defines, and regulates rights, or which regulates the rights and duties which give rise to a cause of action. So the substantive law, it is the body law, since it is the one who create, define, and regulate rights as well as the corresponding duties. It is like the foundation of legal actions kung unsa dapat ang saktong buhaton as an individual under a country that have laws to follow. So, for example, we have criminal law, statutes that and define offenses like theft or assault and corresponding punishment. So, this is the substantive basis for criminal cases to have the rights of the people to not be harmed. Kumbaga mao ang basihan, and it give rights to the people to act right. Then we have the adjective law, a law which provides the method of aiding and protecting certain rights. So it is also known as procedural law. It focuses on methods and procedures used to aid and protect rights established by substantive. So it is the process for justice. So for example, let's go back to the criminal case. So we have an natay nadakpan who have a serious offense of robbery. So diri na mosulod si adjective law to play and ensure that in the game patas or fair ang labanan in a legal process. So di man jud ta patakag papriso, though we have the rights. We have the rights nga papriso because there's a proper process for that, like we have arresting, investigating, napay rights of the accused, and sentencing. So in summary, substantive sets the rules defining the rights and obligation, while adjective law outlines the procedures for playing the game fairly. So as to scope, number one, we have general or public law, a law which applies to all of the people of the state or to all of a particular class of persons in the state with equal force and obligation. So for example, here we have criminal law, international law, and political law. General law means it applies to all people in different classes or status with equal force and obligation. So the criminal law, a law dealing with crimes and their punishment as well as the procedure for that purpose, like for example assault and theft or robbery. So then we have international law, body of rules or principles of action governing the relations between states. Like for example, two countries have a trade agreement. So diri na mosulod sa international law that dictate the terms and condition sa agreement so that there's no conflict na may tabo. Then we have political law, a law regulating the relations sustained by the inhabitants of a territory to the sovereign. So politically, it encompasses legal aspects related to governance, public administration, political structure of a state. Here in the Philippines, we are a democratic country and there is the political law defining powers of the different branches of government. So number two, the special or private law, a law which relates to particular persons or things of a class. So for example, here we have civil law, maritime law, and mercantile law. Special relates to a certain person or things of a class. So dili siya applicable for all, unlike general. So the example here is civil law, the mass of percepts which determines and regulates those relations of assistance, authority, and obedience existing among members of a family and those which exist among members of a society for the protection of private interests. So we have also maritime law, the law dealing with the commerce by sea involving regulation of ships and harbors and the status of seamen. Then mercantile law, the law of commercial transactions derived from the law of merchant, which includes commercial paper, insurance, and other types of agency. So the concept of tourism law. Tourism law governs the conduct, relations, and regulations within the travel industry. It addresses individuals traveling for pleasure or business and establishments providing services for tourists. Importance and application of tourism law. So, in today's evolved society, tourism encompasses diverse sectors like food, hotels, transportation, events, and medical services. E-commerce is vital for tourism businesses with millions of transactions. Government regulations aim to promote national tourist development. So this book focuses on Philippine tourism laws, government agencies, and addresses current industry situations through the legal analysis and application of existing prudence and legislation. So, the sources of law relevant to the tourism, travel, and hospitality industry. 1. The Philippine Constitution. It is the fundamental law of the land to which all other laws must conform. 2. Statutes or legislative enactments. It is the written will of the legislative department rendered authentic by certain prescribed forma and solemnities, prescribing rules of action or civil conduct with respect to persons, things, or both. Examples: Dangerous Drugs Act, Public Service Act, Civil Code of the Philippines, Labor Code of the Philippines, Revised Penal Code, Seatbelt Law, Local Government Ordinances. Number 3, we have administrative or executive orders, regulations, and rulings. These are issued by administrative officials and their legislative authority. The examples here we have rules and regulation promulgated by the Secretary of Tourism to govern the accreditation of hotels, tourist inns, motels, apartments, resorts, pension houses, and other accommodation establishments. BIR, circulars, and rulings. So we have also administrative issuance by the Department of Foreign. Then judicial. Number 4, judicial decisions of jurisprudence. This refer to the decisions of the Supreme Court in interpreting the laws of or the Constitution. Then number 5, we have custom. It is a rule of conduct which in a given place and among given groups of people has been followed for an appreciable time. Then number 6, other sources. This refer to the decisions of foreign tribunals and opinions of textbook writers. So this comprehensive list outlines diverse sources of law relevant to the tourism, travel, and hospitality industry in the Philippines. It encompasses constitutional principles, legislative enactments, administrative regulate judicial decisions, cultural customs, and insights from foreign tribunals and experts understanding and navigating these sources is essential for legal compliance. And I think that would be all for my discussion. So let me summarize our topics. Starting from the definition of law, I introduced the different kinds of law in which we learn about the substantive and adjective law, and as a scope we learn about the general or public law. Then we have also the special or private law and its examples. Lastly, we learn about the diverse source of law relevant in this industry. And thank you for listening.